Okay, now it's time for our get files method. So, comma after the previous method, get files, colon, function, no parameters, two curly brackets, and there we go. Variable ul equals structure, which is basically ID assigned to our ul tag. Then we go for var arr, which will be array of all li tags under this ul tag. So ul, children, and li. So that's our array of elements. Now, why do we actually do it this way? We could obviously pass the ul instance to this method rather than be bothered with defining this ul variable again. The reason why we're doing this is because this one is going to be replaced with a new instance. And if we did it this way, if we pass the ul tag here and obviously pass this as a ul parameter, then this specific object wouldn't be found on a page, and this method basically wouldn't do anything. So that's why we have to get the fresh object after obviously our Ajax has been called. We regenerated the entire structure of the ul element, and now we get the fresh elements of this fresh block of these elements basically as a new object, and then we work on it. So this is why we actually redeclaring this here. Now we're going to go for jQuery each function, and our array will be the first parameter. Then we have function. And inside of this function, we create variable attr, which will basically get attribute this, attribute rel of the specific li tag through which we are currently looping. So now that we have this attribute, we need to check if it's been defined, if it has been found, because some of them, as you know, files don't have any attributes, only folders have attributes. So we check if type of attr equals three equal signs undefined, which would indicate that obviously this specific element doesn't have this attribute, and then attribute or attribute again triple equal sign equals false. Then we know for sure that this element does not have rel attribute. So what we do now is var path equals ul attribute rel, which we get the path basically, then var path, sorry, we don't have to obviously redeclare it here. It's just path equals path dot substring, and we're removing the first // so it's going to be 1 as the first parameter, and then path dot length as the length up to which we want to basically display the value of this path element. So we're getting rid of the first element, and the rest stays as it was. Then we have var file, which equals this dot text, basically value in between the opening and closing li tag. And now what we do, this dot html, and we are basically replacing the value inside of in between the opening and closing li tags, the text which by default will be there, with the a tag. So a href equals then plus path plus then we have /, then plus file name, so file plus, and then single quote, double quote. Then we go for target equals, we want to open this in a new window, blank. Then we close the opening a tag, then semicolon, then the single quote, then the file name concatenation with plus symbols, then closing a tag and single quote right at the end. So this is what's gonna happen. So basically what's gonna happen when this method is called, it will convert all of the file names, no folder names, file names into the links to link to this specific file basically. So another thing we need to do actually, because now that we've got it available, what we're going to do, we're going to call it right when the document is ready as well. So I'll copy this object name plus the method name here, and in the function and document ready, we're gonna simply call this method as well. Now, if we save the file, go back, reload the page, you can see our index.php is now a link rather than just a file. If you click on this, you can see it's linking to index.php, but obviously index.php is displaying what is displaying at the moment. So it's linking already to the file, correct file basically. So let's move to the next video. There's another method we need to look at, but before we continue with our core.js, we need to create this in.php file structure so we can actually get some new folders, basically reload them and show them on our page.